Hey humans, what's up? I'm Brianne Williamson. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. This is a episode of I Heard She's a Lesbian, a series that I started because folks in the town that I grew up in started chatting about the fact that I might be gay before I came out to anyone or even myself. This is a series where we talk about all things queer, from breakups to queer style to coming out. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, and if this is your kind of thing, make sure to subscribe and turn those post notifications on. It helps me out big time. I have my eyes set on that silver play button. I've been doing this for a minute and I'm at about 88,000 followers. So if 12,000 of you could go ahead and subscribe, that would just truly make my day. And if vlogs or reaction videos are more your thing, I have those every single Sunday on this channel. And we're kicking it off with reactions to the Queer Love Ultimatum Season 2 series. So yeah, we're here every Wednesday and every Sunday, and I appreciate y'all being here so much. If you have it in your heart to support queer indie film right now, it's free to do. You can head over to @Basement51 series on Instagram. Follow over there. When we hit 1,000 followers, we're going to be doing a cast reveal. And it's just a free way to help queer artists making queer art just by showing a little support with a follow over there. And it means the world to me. So without further ado, let's get into it. Today we are talking about how to get over your first lesbian breakup. Now, these tips are going to be helpful, honestly, for any breakup, but they are specifically tailored to the sapphic breakup experience, which, as we know, is truly dark times. Before we jump into my tips, I just want to share that I, like many of you, have experienced my fair share of sapphic breakups. And I will say that the first sapphic heartbreak is excruciating. And I think there's a lot of reasons that it may be more excruciating or hang with you longer than a heterosexual breakup. One of those reasons might be that you feel like, depending on where you live or the circle you're in, that there's less options out there for you. So when you break up with your partner or get broken up with, it might feel like you truly are the only lesbian or queer woman out there, and you're like, hold on now, there is no hope for me. Which isn't true, but I think we can all relate to that feeling. Just in general, the pool of opportunity when it comes to dating feeling smaller than for heterosexual folks. And then the bigger reason, I think, is that when you first come out and you first date someone for the very first time that is representative of your true identity, it's like something clicks. And that bond kind of adheres to that relationship, because you could really sub that person out with any first partner. But the truth is that emotion feels so extreme because it's the first time that you get to truly be yourself in a romantic way. And I think our feelings of getting to experience our true identity kind of merge with that person, and it becomes confusing and difficult to try and separate how much of your emotional attachment to them or your feelings towards them is because of truly who they are as a unique individual, and how much of it is because that you've latched on the excitement and the euphoria of getting to live your truth for the first time to that person. It's hard to separate those feelings. So even when you have a partner that might not treat you the best or cheat on you, or you just know in your heart is not a good fit. Maybe they live halfway across the world and they're never going to move where you are, or your ideas of lifestyle are completely different of what you want out of your life. Whatever the reason is that you know it's not a fit, it's still really hard to break that first love off because of that bond, that first release of getting to be you, and understanding that those emotions and those feelings are not attached to that unique individual necessarily, and you will feel that again with someone else. That's easier said than done. So I just wanted to acknowledge that, because trust me, it took me way too long to get over my first sapphic love. I truly, and I know a lot of you can relate to this, felt like I was dying. Like, not in a metaphoric sense. I was physically bedridden. I know for sure that in my life, I have never felt pain like that. Like, it was excruciating. And it manifested in physical ways. Like, I remember just not being able to get out of bed for days, not being able to eat. Like, it was dark times, and it truly felt like I was never going to see the other side. So as someone who now has and has had multiple relationships since then, you will get through it. Okay, there is light on the other side. I promise you that, even though I know it does not feel like that right now. Here are my tips for you on how to get over a sapphic breakup, especially the first one. And some of you are not going to like hearing these, but I promise you, if you listen, if you choose to listen to these, it will help. The first tip is fairly generic and honestly could work for any relationship, heterosexual, homosexual, whatever. And it's to get a hobby. I know that sounds like silly, but not only will a hobby help keep you busy, but it also will help you hopefully meet new people or engage with different people. And honestly, if you're busy, it's harder to be heartbroken, and you can start with something small. Join a running club or go make pottery somewhere or crochet, or maybe you were with someone that prevented you from doing something, or maybe they just weren't willing to compromise. Maybe you've always wanted to travel somewhere and they couldn't, or they prevented you from going to certain events because they were controlling. Whatever it might be, like, find something that you felt like you didn't have time for while you were in a relationship and fill that relationship time with that. Because I know a lot of us, when we get out of a relationship, we just feel like we have all this extra time that used to be filled with a person. So I think getting a hobby and through that making new friends is so powerful. And also, you're doing something truly for yourself. The next tip I have for you is focusing on making friends, not finding another partner. I think when we're first coming out or we're first starting dating in the sapphic world, there's so much focus on romantic relationships. And I think that's because, you come out and you're all excited and you want to live your truth. And that's all good and fun. But as someone who has been around the block for a minute, I can tell you that your friends and your chosen family are so important. Regardless of how many romantic relationships you have, the platonic relationships that you have with queer people will last a lifetime, and they will help you get through it. So instead of trying to fill the void of a partner with another partner and getting right back into the dating scene, consider investing time in trying to find chosen family or a really solid group of friends. Because I promise you, there's nothing more beautiful in the queer experience than having queer friends. And I think that we as a whole don't invest enough time into making those bonds. But when you do, they will last you forever, and they are so important and powerful. And as someone who has a great queer circle around me, I just know that there's so much I wouldn't have gotten through without them. And I know that if anything ever were to happen in the future, they would be there to have my back, which I think is an amazing thing. So get off the dating apps, okay, and focus on making some queer friends. I can do a whole video on how to make queer friends. If you want it, let me know in the comments down below. And my last tip, this is one that the queer girlies never like to hear, but I have to say it. And this is also why you need your own chosen friends, because your partner cannot be your only friend. Because what happens is the codependency that we see so frequently in lesbian and sapphic relationships continues after a breakup, right? We see it all the time. These codependent exes that still want to be best friends. Sure, everyone has the right to do that. We're all adults here. If you want to be best friends with your ex, that's on you. However, if you're watching this video, it's probably because you're brokenhearted. And I promise you that the shoulder to lean on is not the person who broke your heart. It is not healthy to try and get through a breakup by confiding in the person that you're going through that with. You need a third party. You need another friend, and you need space, because as much as you tell yourself, it's okay, I can transition right away into being friends with this person. That's totally fine. I can put my emotions aside. You and I both know that that is not the case. Especially if you still have feelings for this person, you're always going to be wishing that one day they're going to change their mind, or if you have a certain hangout, then maybe they'll see you that way again. Or, you know, you have a couple drinks and then you might kiss. Like, those things are not going to be helpful for you getting through this. I'm not saying that you can never be friends with this person, but you need the space and time to heal yourself and be ready for that. It can't just be immediately afterwards. It never works. It always ends up messier and it always extends the heartbreak. If you got to, block their accounts, because I know you're going and looking. I know you're refreshing their page. I know you're watching their stories. You're trying to see what's going on. Distance yourself, okay? If you have to, take the apps off your phone for a while. Take the social media off your phone. So to recap, know that you will get through this. Get a hobby, focus on chosen family, block them. Just kidding. But don't be best friends with them right away. Give yourself time and distance to heal because you deserve it. We're here every Wednesday with I Heard She's a Lesbian video. Let me know in the comments down below what topic you want me to cover next. And we're here every Sunday with a vlog or a reaction video. It would help me out big time if you subscribed and turned those post notifications on. And I would also so appreciate if you went over to Instagram and you followed us at Basement 51 series, which is the queer indie web series. It's 6 episodes. It's a spooky comedy. It's going to be available for free here on YouTube, and your support means the world. I will also be giving away some t-shirts to some folks that go and follow us over there. Love y'all, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.